Hi, my name is Michael, and I want to share with you two huge time savers in life. The first huge time saver is a very slim, easy to carry item that I slip into my pocket that I don't even know I have on me, and it isn't any burden to carry it. Now, that being said, first let me share with you two relevant stories that only scratch the surface on how much of a huge time saver this first one is. Now, I remember ransacking my house, going up and down the stairs because I needed a needle. And, probably to dig out a splinter or pop a blister or whatever. And just to find that the house, there is no needle to be found. I mean, how exhausting, how frustrating, and what a time wasted effort that was. Or how about having to go to the bank after hours to deposit a check, and of course they don't provide you any pen, and so you forgot a pen, and now you know you have one in your car, so you're ransacking, you're on your knees, going under the seats and all of that, and you're really frustrated because the closest pen is the next store, which you don't have time to go through and all of that, and now you got to go either go back and repeat the process, or you just got to do it later. I mean, how frustrating. How unnecessary all of this is. Well, please understand, while watching this video, I'm not doing it for any commission or any of the items that you see. There's no link between your computer and Amazon where I get these items that cut me any kind of a commission. So I just want you to enjoy. And so the first huge time saver in life is an urban survival kit. Now, I saw several videos of people that have these online. I didn't invent this, but I wanted to put together my ones customized for me. And you can do different things, but what makes this thing work is this tape right here. This tape right here is as strong as duct tape, but it doesn't leave a residue. And I use it as a lock and a hinge. Watch, I'm going to go ahead and open this up. It helps hold it down and so it doesn't open in your pocket. And we're going to pull it open. And here, you notice I have things on the lid as well as on the inside. Now, before I forget, the first thing I want to share is I sealed around the edge here electrical tape. You never know when you're going to need electrical tape. You might have a frayed wire that's plugged into the wall, and covering that up, it could be a lifesaver. So that's a good thing right here. But let's start off with the lid. As you can see, I have twist ties that are taped in there with that special tape, and you can pull it off. And you never know when you need to twist tie up something. I use those, and I have them with me wherever I go. Here's another thing. Now here's another layer with that tape, and again, no residue. And what is it? Well, look at, there's the needle I was telling you about. I got 3 of them, and they're already pre-threaded with white, blue, and black thread. I got another black twist tie in there, 2 buttons, a safety pin, a nickel, and a little tiny keychain thing what you might be able to need for something. And I'm going to put this over here, but this nickel is exactly what it is. It's a real nickel, but and nobody can tell what that is when they're holding it. They'll probably, if they ever did get a hold of this thing, not know what it is and spend it or throw it away. Or, well, look at this. You can break it open, and here is an SD card that you can store. This is 32 gig. You can actually get a 64 gig and store thousands of photos. You just replace this one out of your phone or out of your iPad and have a lot more photos and stuff to show your friends and all that. PowerPoint presentations, just a ton of stuff that you can put in there. I'm really excited about that one. You can get these coins, are modified with inside secret chambers. You can get them in quarters, half dollars, dollars. But I got the nickel one, and because it fits the SD card. Around the edge of the lid, I got here I have a zip tie. And if your ever car goes down and you need to clamp a hose or whatever, that's good to have. I'm going to talk about these other things in the lid later. But right here, this is really what got me into having these things in your pocket. This is $2, Amazon. You can see it's got a can opener right here. It's got a bottle opener right there. Look at this edge right here. You can sharpen that up really sharp so you have a knife to cut things with. It's got a saw right there. It has a place for bolts to be smaller bolts to be unscrewed, different sizes. This right here I learned was for a wing nut. You put that around the wing nut and you can help open up a wing nut. Here's some smaller bolts over here. I do not know what this is. You can figure it out for yourself. But there's a ruler right here that you can use, and I love this tool. It's very heavy duty, stainless steel. it's a great tool to have. Okay, now, you're probably wondering what these plastic things are here. Well, man, you ever go have a steak and they didn't season it well enough? And I like to season my salads with garlic powder and with Lowry powder. It makes it, before I put the dressing on, it makes it delicious. Here I have a Cajun spice. How did I do this? I just took a straw. These are thicker straws and the smaller straws, and you just put a plier right there, burn it a little bit, and then slide the plier and clamp, and then it makes a nice sealed edge. I love having my spices with me. Now, the ones I use the most is cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper to me is the kind, there's no flavor to it other than it gives heat. And I got 3 of these in there. And I have extras of these that I made so that when I do use them, when I get home at night, I just replace them. And I do use these. There's enough in here for a couple people to spice up their steaks and salads and whatever you want to buy. Same thing, a straw idea is I stuffed in here, this is a regular straw. Ibuprofen, or you can put medications or whatever, but I have my ibuprofen, so I'm never without, you know, when you get a headache. Look at this. I think they said this is the world's smallest pen. Check it out. I have this, not only the pen, but I got a refill right here for this pen. Remember I told you about going to the bank? Well, that's one of the reasons why I'm never without a pen. I love that. And here's the refill. All right, and let's say there's a lot more stuff in here. Look at this right here. This is a heavy-duty nail clipper. I mean, it's a really quality nail clipper. Look at it, it opens like that, and you can see how it clips. And you can clip your nails, or you can clip this stuff here to open them up as well. I love that. I'm always trying to find a USB connector, and there's 2 different types, you know, now. One is the GoPro uses the thicker micro USB. My phone uses the standard micro USB. So I made this little device, bought one, and I broke it up, and then I electrical taped it, and I use these. I didn't have the connection, and I needed to power up my devices, and there they are. Isn't that awesome? And so that was custom made that. What about glasses? Now I wear magnifier glasses. I'm thinking of putting 2 of these in here, but I have one for emergency purposes. If I'm camping or in my car, I can use this to read. And so it's nice to have that emergency glasses in there. Here's a really nice tweezer. It's a really good needle nose tweezer. It came with another part on the top. Got rid of it because I wanted to save room. And look at that. I love that tweezer. And here's the world's smallest flashlight. This is I guess a Magnlight. I mean, it is powerful. You can go outside and light up the whole street with this little tiny thing. The battery lasts about 8 hours. And look, here's another SD kind of card that plugs right into a computer. Very small, plugs right in, right there. Look at this right here. This is a heavy-duty scissor. I'm always looking for scissors for cutting things and all that. This one happens to have a beautiful tweezer. Look at that little tweezer there. It has a small flathead nail file, cuticle thing, another small flathead, and a very sharp knife. I'm going to put that right over here. Here's another one. This is one of my favorites. This was given to me by a friend. It is a big flathead, a big Phillip head, and look at this, a really heavy-duty clamping plier. You never know when you're going to need to hold something down and all of that, and I love that. That fits perfectly. You can find all these things on Amazon. And now here's another thing that I use. I used to work for a lock company, and I know how to pick locks. If you ever forget your keys for both commercial and residential, you can actually get in using these 3 tools, these lock tools. I'll put them up here. So in case you lose your key, you know, and I've done it before, I can get in. All right, now what else do I got in here? There's still a lot more. Look at this right here. And it is a actual saw. Look at this. These 2 rings, which I'm not going to pull out, they're key rings. And you put the key ring through the hole there so you can clamp them between your fingers, and you can saw back and forth. Look how long this thing is. So if you're camping and you need to take out a branch, or you need to saw some wood on there, I don't know if you can see the teeth on the thing, but there's teeth on it. It's a saw. And I love that. I love having that. I'll move that right over here. And what else do I got? Well, underneath this, I think this is an important device if you're out trying to survive and all of that. It's a X-Acto knife. I'll carry it up on, keep it on the tape. Look at that X-Acto knife. Now, when you're out in the woods or whatever, or you just might need an X-Acto knife for anything, you can tie that onto the edge of a stick, and you can make yourself a spear or a arrow or a fishing device or whatever. And of course, you know, getting fishing devices and stuff like that for this thing, it is, you know, your preference of what you want to use in this. This is a domestic survival kit. Of course, it would be a different survival kit if I was going into the woods, like a flint, fire flint with a little Vaseline and cotton. That's a great way to start a fire. You hit the flint on it and it starts up a fire very easily, or, you know, waterproof matches and all of that. I don't have any of that because this is a domestic. I've used just about everything in here at least once in my life sometime. You can, you know, modify it to, oh, by the way, that X-Acto knife, you know, that I use right here, there's a couple more underneath this piece of tape right here. I'm not going to take it out. I have, believe it or not, plenty more room for other little things to put in. I could put more layers of stuff under the tape, but I can't think of anything else. And if this just saves me an hour, it's worth carrying around with you. But I've saved a lot more than that, and I know in the future I'm going to save a lot more. Now you can use this thin Altoid tin to carry around all of these things that you'll never have to spend your precious time hunting around for. So all I ask is take some of that time saved and use it to know the next huge time saver in life that I'm going to show you, which is more serious and much more important than anything else. Which one of the new 300 English Bibles that are on the market that people are capitalizing on with their copyrights for money, tuition, you know, membership, which is the words that God provided? Well, to save you a ton of time and study, I'm going to prove to you once and for all which one it is. Because all but one of these English Bibles found on the market today are filled with errors. So let's make this simple that a third grade reader could find this out. The one true Bible has to be the one without error. And that's the King James 1611 authorized version, authorized by the Holy Spirit himself. I mean, God had his hand in the translation of this because he used these men that couldn't take what they believed and change or pervert the words that were provided for them. So how do we know that these words are the pure words? Well, because for 400 years now, since the King James Bible was provided, nobody, and I mean nobody, has ever brought forth a single proven error that can be taken into a secular court of law and be proven or ruled as an error. Believe me, people have tried, and they could never prove one single error. I mean, there's no science fact contradiction. There's nothing about history that can be found as an error. Nothing has ever been brought forth by anyone proving God's words provided to us is in error. Hence the word holy on the cover. Now I'm asking you to check it out by going to Pure KJV Ministry, and I'm not asking you to join anything. I'm not asking you to purchase anything. Please forward this information or link it to a friend or put it on Facebook or use the materials because they're not even copyrighted. Just like the King James Bible doesn't have a copyright. Thank you.